Hey y'all, so I'm hiding in my mama pantry. I'm trying to get this out, and I was trying to do it in her bathroom, and then my nephew had to pee. So yeah, I'm hiding in the closet, which is funny because I spent a lot of time hiding in spaces and not really truly showing myself. Huh. But yeah, so over the weekend I decided to confront one of my abusers. And it was a lot, and it was uncomfortable, and I was like really emotional while I was doing it. But I was all like the emotions that I was feeling, like it felt like a release and a relief. And one of the things that I did say to them is that I cannot carry your sickness any longer. I weep and I pray, and I send love to your inner child, because I know that it was done to you too. That is why you passed your sickness, and you did that to me. But I cannot hold in your secret anymore. And it was way more things than that. But only thing, and I told them they don't have to respond. I just need them to know that I remember. And I'm happy that I said that. Like I turned 40 in February, and I'm a Pisces, and I'm the oldest of my mom's children, and now with my dad's children, I'm the oldest because my sister transitioned a few years ago. And when like y'all know, when you're the oldest, it's a lot when you're the oldest. And I've held a lot, I've done a lot, I've carried a lot since the age of 3. Like, no exaggeration. My mom had my brother when I was 3 years old, and ever since then, like, I have been an adult. And nobody really in my family even treated me like a kid. I'm 5'9", and I've been this tall since like the 5th grade. I've never looked like a child, and the people in my family, a lot of them, there was like a handful that held a space for me, but majority of the people, my parents included, they were not kind to me, and I learned through experience that when you're holding on to that stuff, it makes it hard for you to, get through life and really be able to reap the things that are for you. A part of you feels like you don't deserve things, things you shouldn't have nice things, because what if the people around you did not show you that, and the people around me, they shit talk me a lot. And I'm very successful, if you listen to some of my past videos, which you need to do that. Go check them out, by the way. I have accomplished a lot of things in my life. I was the first person in my grandmother's grandkids that went to college, and I had to learn a lot of lessons. And I've done a lot in my career. I've done so much. I've given back so much to my community, and I still suffer from imposter syndrome. There's a part of me that feels like it's no way you did all of this. And I remember, last week I had a doctor's appointment, and I was talking to the doctor, and I was just telling her all the things that I accomplished. And because I'm out on mental health leave, and I was telling her, all these things I did in my life, I was like, I still feel like I'm not ready to go back to work. And I've been out since January. I was like, I still feel like I'm not ready to go back to work. And I just still feel like I'm just trying to figure out, like, who I am. I lived for everybody. And I carried secrets for so long. And now I'm in this season of myself, of taking care of myself. And I try to apply this thought process that if you were able to do all those things for those people, and even every job that I was at, I wasn't just their supervisor, their leader. Like, I really would take my time with my staff if they needed me to, and I coached them. And that comes naturally to me. I know naturally I am a healer. I understand that, but it's scary because I feel like throughout my life, the people around me, they took advantage of my gifts and they used them for themselves. And I've worked around plenty of people that, because they worked with me, life got better for them. Even down to my son's father, life got better for him. And the moment that I was like, this abuse I can't keep doing this. And I understand, because how you're parented is that how you're partnered. That's how I ended up with him. I ended up with somebody that abused me because my dad was abusive. my mom in her ways was abusive to me as well. So when I left my son's dad, I noticed that spark that he had, because he was siphoning my energy, it's no more. It's no more. So it's like, I know that I have all of these gifts and all of this energy, but it's like, I get scared of myself. I get scared of my own power. You know, I went on an ayahuasca retreat 2 years ago. I did it consecutively, back to back, 2023 and 2024. And I learned a lot from that experience. But what I learned from the person that was facilitating it was that I'm very powerful, just by the way that they treated me. They didn't treat me how a guide or a practitioner is supposed to treat someone, as my grandma would say in Christianity, that's a babe in Christ, somebody that's new. Like they projected a lot of their insecurities on me, and I was just looking for some guidance, and just because I always felt like this little mystical, magical thing. And you know, I always would stare at the stars. When my uncle passed away, I was 14, and the crazy thing is, my uncle and I, we used to go at it. Like, we used to cuss each other out, and our birthdays are a day apart. I technically was supposed to be born on his birthday, but my mom was scared because she got pregnant at 19 and had me at 20, so she was still scared, and my dad wasn't shit. So, you know, she was scared, and she held it, and I was born on the 24th of February instead. But my uncle, when he passed away, I was 14, and I just remember every time my ex-boyfriend would be mean to me, because y'all, this the pattern. It started, remember how you parent is how you partner. So my boyfriend at the time when I was 14, which I probably shouldn't have, but you know, whatever. I got a lot of stories to share. Whenever he would be mean, be abusive to me, I would just go in their backyard and I would stare at the stars. And I just intuitively knew that my uncle could hear me. And when I got older in life, whenever life got hard, my uncle would come to me. And I really couldn't see his face, but you know, I knew that was him. Y'all know. For y'all that experience, y'all know. Like, you can't quite see them, because if we really saw what they look like, what I learned is that we would probably freak out. But I would just always see a picture that was on his obituary of him. And he would always come to me and he would be like, it's going to be okay. 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 And even when my sister transitioned, I cried hard, like hard, because I never got to have that relationship with my sister like we both wanted, because our parents, you know, our parents are siblings. Our moms are sisters. So that trauma within itself, it was always like funky. And we had both the same grandmother. So my grandmother raised her. And my grandmother that passed, both my grandma passed away, but my grandmother that passed away, that came to me and assisted me during my ayahuasca journey, my sister was very close to her. And we both considered our grandmother to be our mom. And she was that for my sister and I. And so when my sister and my grandmother both passed away, I felt like my protection was gone, but only in the physical world, because I know they're with me. My grandmother came during my ayahuasca ceremony, and I heard her in my left ear. And then when my sister transitioned that night, she transitioned sometime during the day, but that night I couldn't get it together. I was in my bathroom and I was like crying. My wife was asleep and she had to go to work, and my mind just couldn't fathom it. She just turned 39, and I just felt this spirit. I felt her spirit move through me. And this was before I even journeyed with ayahuasca, before I even knew about these gifts that I had. But she traveled through me. I felt her spirit pass through me, and it was like, I love you and I'm not going nowhere, and I'm always going to be here to protect you. And my sister still comes to me in my dreams and we talk. And I haven't seen my grandma in a minute, but I know she's there. But wow, I started this video with something totally different, but hey, let the spirit, you know, I let spirit work through me. But yeah, I confronted. I guess I thought it was gonna be sad, but I guess because, you know, I did a lot of work. I was in therapy for 10 years, journeying with ayahuasca for 2, and having a wife that is like amazing. And my wife let me be great. My wife knows that I panic. Like right now I'm having like heart palpitations, but I know when I go back out there, because my wife is laying on the couch, we at my mama's house. I know when I go back out there, you good, babe? She always checks in with me. My wife is a protector. So the things that I wanted growing up that my family just was not able to provide for me, because their own shit, my wife does that for me, you know. And therapy for 10 years, and me just naturally having a warrior spirit, and I've seen myself in other lifetimes. So yeah, your girl's a warrior. And yeah, very resilient, very tough skin. So I confronted my abuser. They inappropriately touched when I was 4 years old. And no, I'm sorry, I was 6. That was another family member at 4, but we'll process that. Yeah, I was 6, and they were washing my body, and they didn't have to because I was old enough. I was very much a grown up. I told you I've been raising my brother since I was 3. That person didn't even have to do that. And I confronted that person yesterday, and all they did was heart the message, because my therapist was like, you don't have to do face-to-face if you don't want to. You can leave them a message. That way they can always go back, reference. Yeah, I confronted one of my abusers today. I'm sorry, yesterday. So yeah, just on this journey, y'all. I'm on this journey. Thank y'all for listening.